Good evening everyone, Jordy here coming to you from Jacksonville, Florida. We have arrived here for Alexander Volkanovski's title defense against the Korean Zombie for UFC 273. And in this video, I'm going to show you guys everything that we're doing to get Volk ready for that fight.
Look at that. So you don't get that. You don't get that kind of service with anyone other than the fight dietitian.
Look at that.
How is it having a nutritionist on site? Does it help with the weight cut?
Helps a lot.
Want to come and join us?
Not only is good food, but look at the treatment I get, eh? Comes to me with it. With like a satay fried chicken. You know what I mean? I'm allowed to eat this by week. That's exactly. If I was doing myself, I never would have expected that I could do something like that, you know? Don't have to worry about it. I know exactly what he's giving me is good for my weight cut because he knows better than me. And the food tastes great. Laughing.
Great team.
Gator Hunter Cloak. You good? Imagine that, eh? All the boys just lining up and Volk just can't hit it.
He doesn't want that to happen.
Look from the best. Wilmington, North Carolina under Captain Bruce Hickman. Oh, you don't have a gun license, Joe. Not unless you've gone to Wilmington under Captain Bruce Hickman.
It's not an explosion because there's no flame. It's just more of a percussion, I guess. I'm not sure.
So we're shooting it and it's going to explode?
It's going to make a loud bang. Yeah. That's that. So over here.
I'm slowly feeling that weight cut now.
Is this the test room?
Yeah, just so we get Volk a bit used to it. You just don't want to try anything new for the first time on game day, obviously, so just kind of figure out what he likes, and when it comes to the cut, we just got to be planned out, and when it comes to the day, we just go bang, 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 bang. There's no confusion or moving around, so it's all planned out, just makes the whole thing smoother, so that's just what we're doing here.
Great.
Yeah, bro, that's fine. As long as you
Even
do
if the
that.
training like feel fine.
So, day before weigh-in, so obviously we're starting the weight cut tonight and then Volk weighs in the morning. So today, we still need to feed Volk, we still need to get him some good nutrition and get him some good calories, but the volume of the food is really important. So what we do is we put him on what we call a low volume, high calorie diet for the day. So he still eats, he still gets a good amount of food, good amount of meals, but the volume's quite low. So what we do is we use foods that don't weigh a lot and we get a lot of calories in. So this meal that we're making is what we call it's a lemon rosemary butter chicken thigh with a peanut sauce, but everything's low sodium, very, very high fat, good protein amounts, very low carb, but it's got a good amount of calories. So even though it's not gonna weigh much, the whole meal will weigh under 150 grams, but it'll give Volk a lot of good calories. So to get him through that cut tonight, get him through the day, get him through the media, and then when we start tonight, and then finish it off tomorrow. So yeah, it's a good little meal to finish off the week on. Everything that Volk puts in his body now, we're gonna have to get out because it takes 2 to 3 days to process food through your body. So we're weighing in, 18 hours. So everything he puts in his body is gonna be weight that we have to remove to get him down to his contracted fight weight when we've got to weigh in at 9 a.m. tomorrow. So we still want him to have a lot of energy. We still want him to get through training tonight, get through the cut really fresh and fully healthy, but we don't want to fill him up with lots of fiber and lots of high foods and lots of voluminous foods because that's going to be extra weight we have to get off in the bath or sauna. So just keep the volume really low, calories really high, keep the energy levels up. Getting a little bit of the butter in, tender up the chicken, give it a bit of extra fat, a bit more calories, it's what we need. Just make it nice and tender. Chicken thigh is already tender, right? But we want to get those extra fats in, the extra calories. Again, it's not going to be very much weight, but a good amount of calories for Volk. And it tastes good too. So carbs are super important, like especially if you're doing MMA or even just everyday people. If you're working and you're not even working out, just doing your day to day, you need a good amount of carbs in your diet. But when we're cutting weight, your body stores a lot of carbohydrates in your muscles and in your liver just in case you need to, say, get up and run away from a bear. You can break down that energy really fast. But when you store that carbohydrate, you hold a lot of water with it. So one of the tactics that we use during fight week is reducing the carbohydrate in the diet. So not only do you get rid of the weight of that carbohydrate that's in your muscles and your liver, you get rid of all the water that's attached to it, and it's quite a good amount of weight. It can be up to 2 to 4 kilos, especially with Volk because he's so dense and so muscular. You see when we drop those carbs, he just gets so light and loses so much water weight. But that's why we cut the carbs during fight week. Outside of that time, that guy's eating a lot of carbohydrates. We can't get enough carbs in him in fight camp and even outside of fight camp. So it's a good, effective strategy, but don't cut carbs unless you have to. I think a lot of people don't appreciate like the psychological side of food. And then, like I said, we're still eating at maintenance calories, but there's a few hacks that you can do to make these guys feel like they're getting a lot more than what they are getting. And one of the things you do is you can cut it up into smaller bits, so the more they're chewing, psychologically they're going to think that they're getting more food. The other thing that you can do is obviously your presentation. You eat with your eyes first before you eat with your mouth and your stomach. So making the food look really presentable and really nice, getting them excited about it, right? And then so looking at it, these guys are so used to going back in the day eating boiled chicken and a few almonds and things like that. So when you can put nice juicy chicken thigh that's really nicely marinated with, you know, sodium-free herbs, spices, a bit of sauce on the side, some nice colors there, instantly it makes them excited about the food, and they're going to take a bit longer to eat it, a bit more savoring, and it's going to be a bit more filling for them. So all those little things are just little 1%ers that you can do to make this experience of cutting weight much more tolerable for the athlete, because at the end of the day, that's what we're doing. We're making it better for these guys. You can make weight 100 million different ways, but you want to go there through the path of least resistance, and this is just one other way that you can do it to make it a better experience for them. Lemon butter rosemary chicken thigh with nut butter sauce. There you have it. The last meal, the last supper.
Just about to.
Yeah, man, let's go. You know, when you're the champ and things like that. But I mean, you know, it's even though I believe I'm better than all these guys, I just want to be better every time I step in that octagon. So that's where I get my drive from. That's how that's where I improve. I want to be better. You know, I don't have to be better than my opponent, you know, because I believe I am now. But you know, I'm the type of guy that I just want to be better every time. So no matter who turns up in that octagon across from me, they're in for a long night, because I know I'm stepping up every time. I'm where I want to be. I expect a lot better from me every time I step in there.
Love it.
So good. I don't even think about it. Like, I don't even think about it. I'm just like, oh, it's here now. Okay, cool. Unreal.
Light. You just don't want too much up down, too much up down. That's going to be where you get a bit like that, you know.
Rest.
We just hit some pads to get that sweat going, get his body temperature up, and now just keeping that body temperature there and keeping this sweat going. So do this for about 20 minutes or so, and yeah, just start the whole process. So we're starting that final rapid weight loss part. So this is the business end of it. But Volk's a really good sweater, really sweating high, so we'll get a good amount off this one. Good night's sleep, lose some overnight, and we'll get back up early in the morning and crank out a couple more rounds, and we'll be on weight.
Traveling around the world, man. Met a lot of great people, bro. Man, I got to train with the UFC featherweight champion of the world, best in the world. One thing I learned from him after training with Alex, I'm never gonna be the UFC champ. I better start comedy ASAP. You know what I'm saying?
Check the weight, see what we got. I think we would have done a fair bit. I should only have to do a couple tomorrow. We'll lose a bit overnight. I'll feel good in the morning as well. Usually you sleep it off and then you just feel rejuvenated. Is that a good word? That's a good word. I'll go. Rejuvenated, you feel good. All good? All good.
You see?
Good, perfect number. Hit the exact number we wanted to get to tonight. So that was a really good session. Tomorrow morning will be really easy now. So first round, really good. Hit a really good number, but we'll just do a half round here, and then we'll be on. But just starting the sweat again in the bath, and then we'll go back into the blanket. And we'll just do 15, 20 in the blanket, and we'll be very close to weight.
Drink water makes you more thirsty.
She made me nervous and then gave me breakfast.
Oh, on the dot. Well done. That was good. Good sweater on bulk, so yeah, it worked out real well. Got an hour now, so we'll go check, and then we'll be first on the scale. So in the fun times.
All right, thank you all for being here for the official weigh-ins for UFC 273, Volkanovski versus the Korean Zombie, and we will begin with the man around whom this fight card was built, the undisputed UFC featherweight champion, Alexander the Great Volkanovski. Official weight 144.5 for the champion, Alexander Volkanovski.
Put some fluid back in, so we slowly put the fluid back in, and then we start getting the food in, start eating. So swap over, and we get the game day nutrition going. So it's just about loading him back up and getting him ready for the fight. So we start that now.
The Great